Hi, welcome to Pop Culture Green Room. This is Blair Bryant.
And this is Kimberly A. Bryant.
And today we have a special guest. We have Briana D on, recording artist.
Woo!
So we're excited to talk with her about her journey and what she's up to and what she has in store for us. So yeah, first thing I want to ask you about you is can you just tell us about yourself? We see you've been performing like at such a young age. You started pretty young. And like, what was the moment that realized that this is what you want to do and pursue seriously?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate your time and, for you allowing me the platform and opportunity to speak with you guys today. But yeah, I'm Briana D. I'm currently 23 years old. And kind of like you mentioned, I've been singing for a really long time since I was around 8 years old. So, which is crazy to think like 15 years now. But yeah, I've been singing since I was a little kid and acting as well. Um, and I first kind of got into it by singing in school choir and church, and just kind of being like surrounded by, uh, different influences on TV and like radio, just like, hearing really, really cool music. Growing up,
Right.
I was just like inspired by what I heard and even what I saw. Like when I'd see performers performing on stage, I was like, "Oh, that looks like something I want to try." And so, yeah, I went for it, and I've been auditioning and performing seriously since I was around 10 or 11. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. So of course you're classically trained and you create pop, like reggae. Like you do like more of like a Caribbean type beats, which we love. Like
Yeah.
Blair and I were jamming out to your music. So it was so fresh and it was so great. So what inspired you to come up with that beat, with that rhythm that you used to whenever you recorded that album? What was that inspiration?
Yeah, so for the newest release, the current single that dropped, it's been like 2 weeks now, which is crazy. Realest Whine with MC Lyte. Uh,
Mhm.
that was that was basically like I heard the beat. I didn't create the beat myself or anything, but I heard the beat. I was like, oh my gosh, this
Uh-huh.
has like, insane dance hall, like party, summertime vibes. Like I definitely
Yeah,
want
oh for
Oh,
sure.
definitely. Good summer anthem.
yeah, so and I love that energy that the instrumental bring about. And so I worked with a co-writer named Edie. I've actually collaborated with him in the past on a song called Feel the Beat a few years back. And we just kind of went back and forth on using voice memos and stuff like that with different ideas,
Yeah.
traveling back and forth. He's for the most part in LA, but so it's just easier to communicate through text and stuff. So we just kind of bounced around some ideas, and he had this idea of like, what about like Realest Whine? Like he had like that idea for the chorus, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I love
Mhm.
that. So then I kind of like wrote around that with like the verses and all that stuff. And then of course MC Lyte wrote her portion of the song. So
Yeah.
just a really great collaborative effort.
That's really cool. Like, so how did you get connected with MC Lyte? Because I mean, that's actually really cool. Because I mean, like, definitely, like, she's a very, very well respected artist and just legendary. Literally. So,
I know. Oh, yeah, a living legend
yeah,
for
like, how did
sure.
you, like, how did that come about? And like, how was it to work with her?
Oh my goodness, it was incredible to work with her. Like you said, she's very, very respected and talented, and
Yeah.
just so gifted at what she does. But that connection came about actually because I was on set with her for a show that we were filming I think it was like 2 years back. We started
Okay.
filming something for that. I did like an episode on this show. Um, and so we met on set there, and then we just kind of got connected since then. And I thought about like I had this song. I was like, who might be a good fit? And then I thought like, actually, I feel like she would do a really really she'd do something really
I love that.
You just felt that energy. You just knew that it was happening.
right. And she definitely did. She definitely did. I think that
For
it
sure.
just speaks to her versatility.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it resonates
Without
like
a
that
doubt.
the song because I was vibing and
Yeah, I was like,
whenever
we really enjoyed it. We really were.
I was like, this is great. Blair was like summertime anthem. I was like, oh yeah, like
Yeah,
hot
I
girl
mean,
summer. And MC Lyte, come on, like that's throwback art. I mean, that's what we grew up on. So I mean,
Yeah,
it can't
exactly.
get any better than that. So speaking of which, so you of course we understand how that all came about and everything. So we know that your music, you blend like different genres and you have different global influences. So like which like your talk us through like an example of like your creative process, like whenever you're creating music, like whether it's like if like you want to talk about maybe writing or like what give us like your favorite process actually.
Yeah, so it definitely depends, I guess, like on the environment, of course. Like if it's in the studio and it's like, okay, like think of something here in the studio, or if, I'm maybe in my bedroom and just have time to kind of like listen to different beats and stuff like that. Kind of depends on that environment, I'd say. But for the most part, if I'm in the studio and I hear, a really cool instrumental track,
Mhm.
I typically just kind of sit with it for a little bit. I kind of start to think through different ideas that kind of align with the flow of, that sound.
Yeah.
And then once I kind of stumble upon an idea, kind of build around that for the chorus. I usually like to start with the chorus just because,
Uh-huh.
it's the core of the song. And so then that
Oh, for
can
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
help me branch out, think of, ideas for the verses and the bridge and all that. So yeah, just I love like the energy of it, because when I'm songwriting, it's definitely like an adrenaline rush in a sense, which
Right.
you have the most adrenaline on stage, which is definitely true. I definitely have a ton of adrenaline on stage, but just to like hear a
Yeah.
fun beat and be like, oh my gosh, there's this idea, and then there's that idea, and then oh my gosh, this sounds so
Mhm.
good. I rhyme this word with that word, and so it's really really fun.
Right. I love hearing you describe it because to me, I can see
Yeah.
the producer and you're just like putting everything together and stuff. So it's funny because I have one of my friends is he produces for 36 Mafia. He's like local to us, and he it's funny because like hearing him talk and hearing you talk, it's
That's the
very
similarity,
I know, yeah,
yeah.
very similar. So,
Which was pretty fascinating, yeah.
Mhm.
So like since you've worked with like big names like MC Lyte obviously and like Jadakiss and Cassidy, which particularly like this like I mean liked all the tracks. I really enjoyed them, love them.
You got some bops, girl.
Yeah, so like so what have you learned like from those collaborations, like from those people who collaborated with like these industry veterans?
Man, I think that I've learned so much. I mean, these are all like, aside from just being great artists, also incredible people. From my experience and like encounters with them. Um, and I think sticking with it, sticking with what you love, despite difficult times, and there's trials and tribulations to reach to any
Oh, for
destination or
sure.
goal that you set for yourself. So them having been in the industry for the amount of time that they have, just I think in and of itself shows, you got to stick with it to earn your
Right.
stripes and everything. So definitely that
No,
was a
without a
lesson.
doubt.
Oh, most definitely. It got it. So, of course, speaking of you and like your production and like putting together pieces, when it comes to like your style and your image, because you've got a bold, I love like your style, your image, especially with like your music video. I love the one with the astronauts, the costumes, like
Oh
that
yeah,
was
it was like
it was so fun. It was cute.
it's like a
Thank
spaceship.
you.
That was really cool.
I
Like
know,
that
like
one.
I was actually trying to do the little. I
She
know.
was.
Yeah, that's Blair. Like every time I get together with her, it's almost like sit down. What do we need to do? But like, and we were into it.
It was
So,
really fun.
how do you feel about like bringing your like if your fashion forward, your visuals and everything, like incorporating that into like your music? Like, do you feel like that plays a big part in it?
Oh, definitely. And what's so crazy is, I have the music video for Realest Whine set to come out. And it'll be out next month. So maybe in
Oh,
like
wow.
Okay.
Oh,
a
guys
couple
look forward
weeks
to.
or so. I don't want to give an exact date as yet, but
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah.
soon. And there are a lot of, I won't give away too much details, like I said, but a lot of colors. You'll see a lot of different
Right.
styles and everything, fashion wise. So definitely excited about that to drop. Island
I
vibes
was
for
excited to
sure.
look forward to.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah,
So
and
with the
so
real, I'm sorry.
oh no, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. So
No,
with the
you're
realist wine, like, how do you feel about like the fact that this is like you are bringing like so much of your own creativity, like so much of yourself into this? Like, how does it feel like to the core? Like how do you feel like, okay, this is where I'm at. Like where do you see yourself going next? Like what do you feel like is going to be like your next big step?
You know, I'm kind of thinking about that myself at the moment. I'm
Hmm.
kind of trying to process like where I want to take things kind of after this. Um, I definitely know that whatever I do, I always want to be creating some sort of music and sticking to what I love. So I think, maybe just following down the same path as what I have been doing, maybe I just like drop a bunch of songs at once or something like that, maybe an
Right.
Yeah.
EP or I have a lot of different ideas of what I could potentially do next, but I think I'm just gonna go with the process, go with the flow, kind of see what um, you know, sparks within me to do next.
Right. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, so like and we see that we perform at major events like Apollo and Super Bowl pre-events, like pre-show events. So like is there like any particular memory that sticks out to you the most, that something that's, a core memory that was created for you that you're excited about, that you'll like to reminisce about?
Yeah, there were a lot of great moments. I mean, the BET Awards just recently was definitely such an amazing moment in time. Getting to like,
I saw that.
yeah, just getting to
You
see
met
like,
Kevin Hart?
yeah, 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 yeah. He's so funny.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and just like getting to see Mariah Carey perform live like that was amazing because her performance was like out of this world, so unforgettable. And just seeing like, I think there was gold confetti falling from the ceiling, and just I loved it. I really loved the BET Awards, so that was definitely a standout moment. But like performance wise, the Apollo Theater was a standout moment just because it was so early on in my
Mhm.
not only my career but my life. I think I was like 11 years
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
old. So I was like, you know, 11, would that be 5th grade? That might have been 5th grade. I
Oh,
was
no, you're a baby.
I was such a young person, and so
Right. Oh, for sure.
really so shocking and like exciting that I even had that opportunity, making it to that finalist round. And I remember like I was just taking pictures of everything and like posting them on Instagram when I was like, again, I was like 11.
Oh,
I was like,
Right.
oh my gosh, look at this star that I saw here. Look at that. Like they have the stars on the pavement with like the names on
yeah.
them. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, look at this. Or like, look, I'm backstage. And like, and so I was just like posting like a ton of photos that day.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
They
Because I'm
didn't have
sure it was just
stories.
so much all at once.
Yeah, they didn't have Instagram stories. So I was just like spam posting like everything that I saw that day because I was just so excited. But no, it was incredible, and just like getting to perform there, really, really standout moment for sure.
Oh wow, that's super cool. So I do want to ask you to kind of like circle back a little bit to the BET Awards. So you were there and at that in the atmosphere, because the energy this year, it was amazing. I mean, I rewatched the BET Awards 4 times actually.
Yeah.
It was that good. It was excellent. So when you were there, did you feel like you were like even more inspired and more driven, like once you were in there and surrounded by those other artists and just seeing the performance well?
Definitely, definitely. I think like just being surrounded by so much like Black excellence in one space,
Right.
it was really,
Yes.
really inspiring and motivating to me. Um, and yeah, I thought the energy was like really, really elevated this year. I think Kevin Hart did such a
Mhm.
great job hosting, and the performers were all on point. And
Right.
yeah, it definitely did. I was like, wow, like I'm really here in this moment right now, and I was just trying to soak it all in, and it definitely sparked that like motivation within me.
Right, definitely. It makes me so excited just to see you like as a young person, because we're of course we're a lot older than you. Oh, but it just makes us feel so good, just like you said, just seeing young Black excellence just
Exactly.
come up
Thriving.
and the way that I mean, like everybody was, it was just so great. Like I said, it was refreshing to see, and it
Oh, for
just
sure.
goes to show like you're not group of like you're not that group of talent, that up and coming talent. So we're excited for you. And
So
anything
be
we
on the
can,
lookout. Yeah.
yeah, I know everybody like be on the lookout.
Thank
Like
you.
this is like you are an entertainer and such a talented singer.
Yeah, so like, and so going back to singing, but that you've also mentioned how you did some acting. Like, are those like two creative? Like, how do those two creative outlets feed off of each other? Is it something that do you feel like one inspires the other, or is it?
Yeah, I think it definitely does, especially I know when I was around like 10, I believe in like starting that process of going on auditions. I was mainly auditioning for like off-Broadway type stuff. So it incorporated the music, like, the singing, the acting, the dancing, like everything. So
Mhm.
being that it was all intertwined, you had to just be good at everything and be on top of everything. So uh, and I just remember the audition processes being like really intense. Um, and yeah, I think they definitely feed off of each other because they're both like creative, in the space of like entertainment. So when you're acting, you're kind of putting on this like character and this persona you have to step into. And in a way, music can be very similar, especially when you're performing on stage, kind of like how Beyonce says she has that Sasha Fierce alter ego. Uh,
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
right.
you have to kind of like step into this character, even if it is like you and it's all like authentically yourself. You have to have like this heightened sense of awareness that like, okay, I'm on a stage right now and there are a ton of people watching me. So in and of itself, you can't just be the same person that you are when you're like in your bedroom watching Netflix and eating popcorn, like
Of
so
course.
I think they definitely feed off of each other in that way.
That's super cool. That's good to know. Because like so like is there any kind of like acting that like are you interested like in maybe pursuing like on Broadway in the future, or maybe even like well I mean, I've seen some TV shows where it's like they've kind of incorporate or like even some movies like they've incorporated kind of more musical elements than they used to. Like is that
True.
something that maybe kind of sparks your interest possibly or
Yeah, I know like Wicked is one of those where it's like, a movie in the movie theaters, but it's a musical and they have the singing and all that stuff going on. So I think, hey, I'm not closed off to it. I'm not opposed to it at all. I think that, I recently saw that Nicole Scherzinger, I believe, she did Broadway before going like commercial with her career, and then she now recently revisited it. From what if I'm remembering that correctly, I think she did do it before. Now she's back at it again. But uh, she like I saw the rave reviews about her performance and everything, and so I think that that's just kind of like a testimony to how um, if you have the talent to just go out there and be a Broadway performer, like
Mhm.
maybe that's your calling in the next few years. You can return to it or, start it. So yeah, I think, I have so much respect for anyone who like can do Broadway performances because again, like the dancing, the singing, the acting, and not just like any
Right.
kind of vocals. You have to be belting and you have to like hit every note like
Oh
perfectly,
yeah.
auto tune. Like, so I definitely have a ton of respect for anyone on Broadway. But yeah, I definitely could see that being something that maybe I do later down the line sometime.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool. I know you've got oh my gosh, like there's so many things I could see you doing. That's just
Yeah.
super awesome. Especially I love seeing like especially you thrive at that age. It's super cool to me. But I do want to talk about the realist wine. Can you set the stage for the fans and let us know? Because you tell us like about like a description about like what the song's about and like what it means to you and
Yeah, so Realest Whine, it's it's a fun song. It's about a dance move. A whine is like a Caribbean dance move. You're kind of just like moving your hips. And so,
yeah.
I'm saying just the chorus is I got the realest wine, which, it's just me kind of being like, hey, I can do this dance move, just like a fun vibe, pretty much. Like,
Right.
not me trying to be cocky or anything like that, but
Right.
it's just
I hear
kind of
you.
a fun like summertime song. And then I say, um, it's about like being at like a party setting, party all night and day.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just like, jamming through the nighttime. That's another, few lyrics in there. So yeah, it's just like a fun summertime song about, something you can put on at a party, in a party setting. Um, and yeah, I think the inspiration kind of came from wanting that summertime vibe and kind of
Right.
yeah,
Oh
songs
yeah.
that I listened to growing up at summertime parties, back in like the 2000 early 2010s, late 2000s.
Right.
I really, really loved the music from that era. So
Right.
yeah, just kind of like circling back to that sound and that feeling that I got as a kid and putting it into this new track, Realest Whine. And then of course,
Hmm.
MC Lyte, I really felt that her verse was so needed for the song to, kind of give it that extra pow. And she did her thing.
Uh-huh. You put the icing
Right.
on top. I
Oh
love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking like but like since like what would you like be like your dream like artist collaboration that you'd like to do?
Man, I feel like if Rihanna ever like was on a track with me or I was on a track with her,
Uh-huh.
like life completed. So
Okay. Riri, if you're
I know,
watching, if you're
right?
yeah,
listening,
definitely,
Rihanna.
definitely love her. So definitely Rihanna.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like, I can definitely see that for sure.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
like so when's that we can expect from you next? Like any fans like any like future plans for like any tours or anything like that? Are you gonna show you that thing that you're kind of toying with that idea?
Yeah, so I definitely have some upcoming performances. I'm gonna be going to New York in about like a week and a half, I believe, and then going to Atlanta after that, and then coming back to LA, I think. I have to kind of get all my travel plans sorted out, as you can probably tell, just kind of going through my own head of what's coming. But I'm definitely planning to have some performances very soon. Music videos coming out next.
Oh,
Just
that'll be
promoting the
fun.
song. Yeah, promoting the song for now. And you know, right after that, I have some songs that like I have not put out, but maybe thinking of something new for my next release after that. I got to start brainstorming for what I can do next. So,
Got it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
very cool.
What's like your favorite part of what's your favorite part of promoting right now? Like have you like just have you gone to like any like hot spots so far or like radio stations? Like have you had like anything like any interesting or off the wall conversations or anything that was just kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, excuse my language. Sorry. Sorry, we cuss on here. I hope that's all right.
no, all good, all good. Ye-
Any kind
Yeah.
of like earth chatting moments for you.
I think it's been pretty tame so far. I've loved, the interviews. I have an interview tomorrow as well, and I think the day after that. And so just I've been doing like a lot of interviews, and then also, attending events. Um,
Yeah.
BET Awards was, again, super fun event that I went to recently. Um, and yeah, so far the promotional process has been really, really fun, and I'm so excited for the music video because I can't wait for people to actually see the vision behind like
Yeah, for
song
sure.
itself. I feel like it really shows what I like what you're hearing, and then you can see it, you can visualize it,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So it's
For
really,
sure.
really, really
Yeah.
fun once that drops.
Definitely. Like even listening to it reminds me of like 'cause when I was in San Diego, like some of these like nightclubs I would with like huge like screens or like play like with the videos playing. Like that's what I see and like envision with your song. Like just hearing that in the video. So I can't wait for that to come out. Like walking out
That's
there
what
or whatever.
excited about it.
Yeah, and I can't wait to help promote it some more. Like we like it a lot. It's pretty
Same.
cool.
So turn it on to you and like your personal taste and all. Like, who's like on your playlist right now that you're feeling that you're listening to?
Well, I think to kind of circle back to those dance hall pop vibes, I love Sean Paul. I love Shensia. She's a really cool Jamaican artist. And I've been kind of tapping into that, especially when it's like summertime. I feel like you can't
Uh-huh.
help but they bring out those summertime vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
oh for sure.
Yeah, so I love that so much. Love dancehall music. I've also gotten into like compa music. I'm not sure if you've heard of that genre, but it's like this Haitian jazz music. Really, really, really underrated in my opinion. So been listening to a lot of that for the summertime vibes. But yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'll check that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
oh, most definitely.
really fun.
That's awesome. So, what's like a surprising fact about you that your fans will love to know? Interesting fact.
Interesting fact. Well, I I actually I'm pretty decent at skiing actually.
Oh, okay.
I like to kind
Cool.
of go skiing late winter, early spring when there's still snow on the ground, of course. And I also do like archery. Um and so those are like two like semi-athletic things about me. Like nothing else is athletic, but those two things,
Oh,
that's
that's
where
so
That's
cool.
actually really cool. Yeah, definitely. And, but also like since like to kind of pull fun little small things that since we're on the pop culture green, like so we covered so many things pop culture related. Is there anything like any kind of like TV show or movie or anything like that you're like really into right now?
So the funny thing is, like everyone is always asking me, like, "Oh, what TV show do you watch? What TV show are
Uh-huh.
you like, binge watching right now or anything?" But I um I don't watch TV all that much, but from moments that I have kind of indulged, I remember being like in a hotel and just like the whole day I watched 90 Day Fiance because I just couldn't. I
Oh,
was addicted. Like that, they would like show one episode and then another, next, and I watched like 12 episodes in like a day. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to like get outside and do something. Like this is really bad. So
yeah. Yeah, but we know it's like there's never a dull moment with that. Because I mean, it's been around for so long. So
I
it's had
know.
several spin-offs.
And it's
too.
fun. We actually had one of our wedding planners, a celebrity wedding planner on that she planned it was Christine's wedding, I think. Not what's it? It was
I
one
can't
of twins'
remember.
wedding from 90 Day
Oh,
Fiance.
was it Darcy?
Darcy,
Was
I
it,
think
was it Stacy? Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy's wedding.
Stacy's wedding. Yeah, we had a wedding
Yeah,
planner
that was
on our
very
on podcast. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But she was actually great to work with. But yeah, but yeah, we appreciate you so much for joining us, and thank you so much. And like let's see, tell everybody where they can find you.
yeah, so hopefully you can see on the screen the spelling of my name because the spelling is like very different than the typical Brianna. There's a GH at the end. But you can follow me on Instagram at Briana D, BriannaGhD. And then I'm also on YouTube, Briana D. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, stream Realest Whine featuring MC Lyte.
yes.
And yeah, you can pretty much stay up to date on through my social media and see just like what I'm up to.
Yeah, well, awesome. We're gonna drop your links for you for sure, so everybody
Yeah,
can
we
see you.
definitely will.
And everybody
Yeah.
go stream and listen to the realest wine. Featuring MC Lyte. So that's really exciting, and I'm like I'm looking forward to the video for sure.
Yes, we are going to be promoting the hell out of it for you. We're super excited for you. Like,
We are.
yeah, we this is just as exciting, probably, but we're just super excited.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
You're welcome. Of course, it's always great to have
Oh, yeah.
just great and up and coming talent. It's
Oh,
just
for sure.
it's an honor. It definitely is. So yeah, y'all don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, check out Briana D and the Realest Whine, the single featuring MC Lyte. We're gonna drop all the links as we said, all of our handles. Go
Yes.
follow, like, subscribe, all those great things, and download. Like y'all, like, this is gonna be popping. It's definitely a summer anthem because it's got me like moving. I'm probably like waiting to see what the next like TikTok trend is going to be. It needs to go viral. Some kind of dance needs to go off to it. So
Thank you.
yeah, we're hoping for. But all right,
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. With Pop Culture Greeting.
bye
Thank you.
bye.